Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Thesis on Cardano. Today with us we have a guest which you probably don't hear every day and don't know much about him yet, but exactly for that reason I invite you to listen to this talk. You might hear some different perspectives, different opinions, hear from someone who is involved in the Cardano ecosystem in a different way. What does he do and how does he help the Cardano ecosystem to evolve? It might open your eyes to how wide actually the ecosystem is and how many different players in the game make it. My guest Theo is also helping us with one of our Catalyst proposals for this round, so inviting you all again to go vote for our proposals. Enjoy the talk. Thank you.
Hello, Theo. Welcome to Thesis on Cardano, our new podcast, which we are creating for this period of catalyst voting, basically to spread more awareness of everything that we are doing and many different people who are involved in the Cardano ecosystem. Basically, I think you are probably the most different one from everyone else I have talked with and will talk with. Because you're, I would say, a little bit on the outside of the core community, which is, here, I don't know, buying NFTs, meme coins, and stuff like that. And I'm very eager to hear your perspectives on those things. So, yeah, I think we will go over all of these things today. But as I said, you are a little bit on the outside. I know that you are working for United Nations Development Program at the moment, and you have loads of experience in all kind of social business acceleration in your resume and everything. So can you just give us a little bit of your background and tell us how did you end up here then in the end, doing something on Cardano blockchain in general and all about that?
Uh, yeah, so for the last 20 years, I have been working for mainly business support organizations. Some of them were based in Croatia, some of them were based in the Western Balkans area, but I worked primarily in Europe and MENA region supporting civil society organizations, social enterprise, and impact entrepreneurs. Basically, that was my passion since I dropped out from different kinds of the faculties, universities that I started when I was in 20s. Back then, I started first social enterprises, and they really grew. And today, in Croatia and in the Western Balkan region, they are the biggest one and the most sustainable ones. They're working in different kind of the industries, and that was a big learning for myself as well because. Uh, I was somehow introduced to different kind of the people in the communities, uh, working from with the disabled people to working in the creative industries, etc. And somehow on that way, on that journey, I met a lot of people that had different kind of the interests and passions, and that was basically the richness that I really appreciate in my life, which basically brought me, to couple of people that have been working for international development organizations, and somehow I decided, to have a look behind the corner just to see, what's there new for me. And I joined UNDP like 2.5 years ago, where I started working as an accelerator lead, but then like a year and a half ago, I started to be responsible for digital partnerships in a broad sense. Uh, Somehow my team started working with emerging tech companies like in 200, yeah, like 9, 10 years ago. So we had some kind of the baseline and some kind of the partnerships already established, but I remember the first days on my job, I went through the old emails of my colleagues, and then I found some guys that were working for Chainlink and Solana, and there was Cardano as well. Uh, and then I dive a little bit into these communities as well to understand better, uh, what are the core principles and values of these kind of the organizations in the communities, and how is these aligned with the core values of United Nations and my core values, which were really important through whole my business journey. Basically, I started as a punk. I had my DIY label. I published magazines. I have distributed to more than 30 countries around the world, and somehow that core values were really aligned with the blockchain community values, and that was for me like, wow, there are some communities that do care about each other, and at the same time they have fun, at the same time they're earning, at the same time they're creating meaningful solutions for challenges that exist in small communities, but also are really important on the global level. And yeah, I started to sending emails to those people, and somehow I felt that they were quite open, interested to discuss, and interested to co-design different kind of the initiatives and work with us as a United Nations organization. And I visited then, I think in 2022, I visited a couple of summits and conferences, and maybe some number of different kind of the hackathons that were happening I work in the African, Central Asia, and MENA region. So I got introduced to some people that were thinking the same way as I was thinking, my whole life. And that was the trigger somehow. I really liked different kind of the communities, but somehow Cardano was the most exciting one, at the same time the most aligned with my principles and values. And then I started to meeting different people in the Cardano community, from developers to business owners, to people that are somehow helping also this community to grow, from the designers, musicians, etc. And we started working more with the Cardano Foundation. We as a UDMP then collaborated in 2023 on Cardano Global Impact Challenge. So, and still we are working on digital identity and digital accreditation for civil society organizations in development countries. I met a couple of people there that became my friends, and today somehow I feel, even though I'm outsider, I really feel like as a part of the Cardano community. Yeah, and that was basically the journey,
Yeah.
last couple, maybe last 25 years. But in the blog, first time I heard for blockchain 2014, when my good friend that was a state secretary in Slovenian government told me, Theo, we are working a lot on the social economy, policy development, working with the European Commission. But did you hear anything about the blockchain? I said, no, I don't have a clue. What's that? And he started working back then. And this, I was still occupied with European Commission policies on the social inclusion and economy. He's quite good now. I mean, they fundraised a lot of money. They had a couple of startups. He's now working also closely with the European Commission on different kinds of blockchain policies that are taking place. But for more than 10 years, I was, okay, this is something that I understand. This is some tech thing. It is too much. But now when I feel, that in the community there are different kind of the people with different backgrounds, that kind of the richness that exists in the space is invaluable for me and for my work.
Yeah. Basically, you want to tell us that you bought some Bitcoin in 2014?
No, I didn't do anything on this. Even today, I'm not really trading on anything. Here and there, I'm just buying some coins to better understand basically how this is working. But my passion is I'm strategizer and innovator. So I will never be tech person, and I will never dive into to understand basically the technologies. Of course, I understand the basics of everything where I'm working with, but somehow yeah, I was never part of that hypes or trends that were happening around. Maybe that's why when I was teenager I chose punk, not not some mainstream uh,
Yeah, well, interesting.
fashions. Yeah,
I mean, you say that punk and blockchain go well together, so
definitely. These are so aligned values, and principles, like from decentralization, no gods, no masters, like transparency, openness, everything is like very well aligned.
yeah. Well, amazing. Basically, you are the person who brought the blockchain talks to UNDP. Then I would say it's you who started the initiatives, basically.
As I said, a couple of my colleagues started this like 10 years ago. They started with first pilots experimenting, what's there. They even created the Cedar coin in Lebanon. They worked on the traceability projects in Ecuador. But these were all pilots, so they are not alive today. But they experimented. So that kind of the knowledge already existed. Also, my current boss in UNDP, he's well experienced also in blockchain. But UNDP as an organization is the less connected, I would say, or less experienced in the blockchain adoption when we are talking about the UN ecosystem, right? Because UNICEF and World Food Program and UNHCR, they already had like multi-year experience working with different kind of the blockchain protocols and blockchain communities, while we just started discovering this. And
Yeah,
since we are development organization, this is really important because UNHCR, World Food Program, they are more humanitarian organizations, and now we are bringing development initiatives to the blockchain industry. I think this is yeah, important milestone, not only for us, but I would say also for the blockchain industries.
sure. And how would you say? How would you choose a blockchain to work with? What's like something that you or UNDP look at, like a value that you would like a blockchain to have to be something that you want to work with and collaborate with? You mentioned Cardano. I'm thinking you are working with Algorand also. Yeah, and which else blockchains are you working with?
We are working with more than 10 blockchain communities right now. The most important one is still, I would say, Cardano, uh, because we are not working only on digital identity. We are also, somehow Cardano always supported us in bringing, for example, awareness raising events, also in the first educational activities. And today, of course, we are working with multiple, because UNDP should be agnostic, blockchain agnostic
Yeah,
organization, and since we are covering a lot of different areas, from education, health, to the agriculture, transportation. We need to work with the best blockchain communities that have the proper solution for our initiatives. Uh, but I mean, with Algorand, we started working on the Blockchain Academy because somehow the person that worked and still working for the Algorand Foundation has the background in the university education, and somehow we quickly understood each other, what we basically want to do. But at the same time, Blockchain Academy that we launched is for the UN ecosystem, is as well blockchain agnostic. We have the live sessions where we are hosting different blockchain communities and different blockchain use cases from different blockchain protocols, and this is how we are somehow on one hand, supporting everything that is going on in the blockchain industry. At the same time, we are bringing the most important and most valuable solutions to our colleagues that are working, as I said, on different initiatives.
Yeah, I read a bit about the Blockchain Academy. So is that something that's starting just at this moment, like launched a week ago or something like that? And so that's an academy in which you aim to educate basically employees of different United Nations parts about blockchain. And was that funded by Algorand in a similar way how Project Catalyst is working on Cardano? Can you tell us a bit more about?
No, this is like a strategic partnership basically that we established. So each party invested their resources in the development. I mean, Algorand invested a lot of resources in this because they activated and engaged different players in their ecosystem around the world. At the same time, the program is a little bit different, than usually these kind of academies, educational programs are. So we are not only giving the knowledge, we are also giving the hands-on experience, which basically means that each participant has the option to experiment with something. I mean, from the basic level, they can open the wallet and do some first transactions in their life, but that they can also, take or dive more into the use cases that were part of the educational program. So, they can work on some cross-border payments initiatives with Algorand, like with the HESA Pay. They can work on the traceability projects, just to better understand, how the technology is working. And during the academy, they all have the assignment, basically the project initiative that they need to develop, and they are receiving the mentorship support, right? Each of the participants basically has the developed idea, developed initiative, concept note at least, that was mentored by Algorand and other blockchain experts, and then they're entering community of practice. This is something that we struggle a lot because UN ecosystem is a really slow one, but now we received the green light to coordinate the blockchain group on the level of 23 UN organizations, which basically means that as the time will pass and more participants in the academy will successfully finish the academy, they will have the option to be part of the community of practice, where we already have different kind of the activities, from the events, webinars, working groups, and hopefully next year with the Emurgo, which is part of the Cardano ecosystem as well, with Emurgo Labs, we will start the first blockchain acceleration program in the UN ecosystem. So this is also the way how we want to connect, the solution makers from the blockchain industry with the people that are designing different kind of the development initiatives in the UN ecosystem. And somehow this is now, important momentum, I would say, for both sides, because emerging tech, new technologies somehow give UNDP like a faster pace in working with the challenges and the problems that we are facing in our work in different communities. But at the same time, blockchain industry has the option to really scale and make significant their solution on the global level. So somehow the approach that we have, and this is also the conversations that we have with the blockchain communities, is we are really looking for solutions that are working on multiple places, because for us, it's really hard to invest resources that are working, for example, I don't know, in Burkina Faso, solution is working in Burkina Faso, and then we cannot scale this to other countries where we are working, and we are covering more than 170 countries globally, right? So I think this is huge opportunity for developers and solution makers in the blockchain industry to make really real world use cases that are changing or disrupting some parts of the industries where we are working.
Yeah, well, that's a big challenge, finding something that can, be used globally and help solve whatever problem there is globally. But yeah, as you say, I think that's the mission of blockchain, at least at least in Cardano. It's something that it's been talked about very much. So yeah, I see.
The trick is, that UN ecosystem, worked and is still working like in silos, right? So each agency has its, autonomy and mandate to work on different kind of the cases. While at the same time, blockchain industry is also like, structured in silos. So we have different kind of blockchain protocols and different kind of organizations now that are working in between, DEXs, etc. But again, something is happening. More and more blockchain protocols starting to work together, and interoperability is now, like a common sense. And I think cross-chain solutions will happen really soon. I mean, we also have examples already in Cardano community, right? Like and Maker and Patrick, they already built the solution that is operable on multiple blockchain protocols. So this is something that I think will really boost not only the industry but also the impact in the development humanitarian projects where we are working.
Yeah, I agree. Well, let's cover Cardano a bit more and Project Catalyst. Basically, that's how we met, because you learned about us creating a proposal for something to be happening in Croatia, and that's the one of our three proposals in this round, called Cardano City Challenge Croatia Meetup. And yeah, basically what we want to do there is merge Web2 and Web3 communities in one single event, where people will come and hunt some places around the town, like collecting NFTs, and then all come together back to a venue where there will be, people presenting stuff about blockchain, basically. You loved that, and the initiative of actually something trying to happen in Croatia. That's how we connected, and I'm glad to say that you are one of the co-proposers with us on that proposal. I'm hoping we get funded so we can work further together. How was your experience with Project Catalyst till now? You also had some proposals being funded, and the blockchain for good, I think, was that the one which was funded also? And recently you held like that digital convention, how would I call it? And it was I joined a bit, and it was really a great experience. So kind of like, like just spreading blockchain all over the place. Feels like that's your job now. Like let's teach everyone about blockchain. So yeah, what was your experience with the Project Catalyst till now, and doing the proposals and getting them done, basically? How was the success of all of that?
I mean, I worked a lot in the acceleration ecosystem, and I also was part of the organizations that were grant-making organizations, right? Previously, when I worked more in the civil society. So the thing that I didn't like there was, there was no transparency on the first place. Which was really important to me, because especially, I mean, even today, European Commission, like all of the public funds, they're not distributed in the transparent way, and there is no processes where proposal makers or organizations that have great ideas can participate in the somehow the framing of the grant, this grant framework, and what type of the criteria should be used, and how basically the evaluation process is done, etc., etc. And then I was introduced to Project Catalyst by a couple of friends from the Cardano community, and immediately, I felt in love because then I dived into, fund. I read really a lot of proposals from Fund 4 to Fund 12 because I wanted to understand, how the project Catalyst basically evolved through the time, and it was, wow moment. It started like a really punk thing, let's, just do whatever we want to do, and let's start, making some good solutions in Cardano, and let's, use the money from the treasury to grow. And let's decide with some kind of the consensus mechanisms, what is in the transparent way, what's important to support, what is not important to support. And it was really surprising for me that in Fund 4 I read a couple of proposals that were like really that got funded because there was just like 3 sentences written in that. And more than I read the proposals from each fund to fund, I saw how not only the proposals and the quality of proposal is evolving, but also how the system is evolving continuously. And that was for me really like an important moment. I think this is one of the things why I really like being part of the Cardano community, because it's a unique use case how the development funds can be in transparent way and through the participative governance distributed and monitored and supported, and how community vote is really important in what will be supported or not, right?
Yeah.
Back then I started discovering also these new models like quadratic funding in the UNDP work, etc. And I mean, Cardano Project Catalyst is I would say one of the most successful decentralized funds that I ever saw. It really, as I said, evolves. I mean, we got funded the project which is dealing with the development of the impact measurement system for the Project Catalyst, and this is also one of the reasons why I dived really into the mechanisms and the proposals, and basically I read the proposals to understand what are the core indicators of the quality, of the success, of the impact of the proposals that were funded. And Project Catalyst is somehow now, I would say, the most evolved framework, which not only involves community, but it also has now in the pipeline really strong, global, real world, use cases. Yesterday I just read the short list projects in the partners category. This is really great. When you see that Cardano community is starting working with the big industries.
Yeah.
Right. So that also means that something is validated there. If this kind of the partnerships can happen. And at the same time, we still have the mechanisms where a community will vote for what's important and how the funds from the treasury will be used to grow the community, Cardano community, but also have this kind of real world project implications.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's my experience with it. We sent a couple of proposals on the fund 12. I collaborated with the different people in the organizations. And like you said, one of the most important projects for us was also the Blockchain for Good Summit that was funded by Cardano, Project Catalyst. Because that was the first summit. It was real success. We had more than 250 online people online, and really great speakers from more than 6 UN agencies, and almost 10 development agencies in the world, combined with I think it was 7 or 8 blockchain communities present there, mainly Cardano community use cases. And the energy that we felt, finally we are talking, with each other. We are not like having one-on-one conversation, between development organization and the blockchain, but somehow on the panel there are sitting different people from development world and different people from the blockchain industry. And we are talking about, the same things with the same language, and we understand each other. And we got really excited. So next year in July, we are doing a big event, Blockchain for Good Summit in person in Istanbul.
Oh, nice. When?
It will be in beginning of July. Usually we have the partnership, digital partnership events, beginning of July. Somehow now we decided that we want to collaborate, with we were approached also by different kind of the blockchain actors, from the Blockchain for Good Alliance. Yesterday we had a call with the Good Token Society. We already talked with the Istanbul Blockchain Week. So, something is really happening here. Everybody wants to be, more part of the events or of projects where, we are witnessing these collaborations that are happening between different, as I said, development humanitarian actors and blockchain communities. Of
Yeah.
course, now our next step now is, I mean, this is still something that we are, developing and trying to see how we can do that. But after the Blockchain Academy for the UN ecosystem, we really want to dive into the education of the governments, because we are working closely with the governments in different areas. So yeah, I mean, I'm just mentioning this because maybe this will be connected with the Cardano ecosystem. Maybe this is something that we can do.
Yeah, and maybe I mean Cardano maybe out of all of them has like big focus now on governance itself, which is the final step of all of this, I would say. And now when you mentioned that you felt like on Blockchain for Good you actually started to talk with each other for the first time, I think that it's like in last couple of weeks, maybe months, on Cardano, it's like a bit of different atmosphere about everything because the governance is now here, and I think that people are not everyone, of course, but whoever wants to get involved is now having this another thing that they have to get involved with, and that's governance, and that's learning about governance, and that's getting involved in some conversations or debates or even thinking about some things which you haven't thought about before. And I think like it's a struggle, everything, like putting everyone together to talk about something and get to some conclusions. And you can see so many different opinions on Twitter, and the constitutional convention is coming up in just few days, and it's like community is fighting to get everything to be as transparent as possible, and he'll still have shortcomings in that regards. So it's very like exciting times, I would say, trying to build government basically here on Cardano in this decentralized manner. And it's I think for all of us it's basically the first time that you are able to witness something like that. And blockchain, as you said in your like experience, is the place where those things, I guess, will happen. There's nothing else in this world which I think will offer the solution, even the idea of solution to all those problems which politics, whatever, governments of the world, financial system, whatever we are struggling with. Blockchain, Cardano, blockchains which think in similar way, I think offer the ground to actually build things in a bit different way than what we are maybe used to. So Yeah, I see that.
definitely. I
Yeah.
mean, since I was part of the punk anarcho movement, we already, did this kind of the governance systems and mechanisms in the past, but on the lower scale. And something that I noticed, what is really important are local communities. Back then in the punk anarcho movement, even though that movement was and is global one, the local communities were really important, element of this decentralized governance, because that kind of the autonomy and the strength that existed in the local communities was basically, the source of everything. I would say, initiatives, any kind of the, solidarity actions that were happening between the community members and the communities, in different regions. And that's why, I also like your proposal, because I live in Croatia, right? And before I met you, I really didn't, knew any person from the Cardano community. Okay, today I know Vedran from Revuto, I know Vlad from Anastasia Lab, I know a couple of more people. That was fun tag, the fact that in Dubai I met, guys that are living in the same city where I lived, for 40 years in Međimurje, right, county. So it, that kind of the energy that is, happening on some levels, I think it's really important, and I really support all of the proposals in the Project Catalyst where, someone is trying to build some Cardano community, being on the country level, regional level, university level, whatever it is. And I also think that now Croatia is, I mean, Cardano community already existed, right? Cardano meetups were happening. But somehow I feel that, more and more I talk with, yesterday I had a beer, with the friends, and we talked about the Cardano project Catalyst shortlisted projects in the partners track. The people that don't have still anything with the Cardano community, but they got interested. How the things are happening and what kind of the project proposals are there. And what that can mean they're from different industries, right? And what that can mean for the development in the future. So I think, also our proposal, even though it will be one-day event, I think, somehow it will show how important it is to see, community members already or new people that are interested in Cardano, face to face. That's always, I mean, Cardano Summit this year was really wow. Last year it was great, but this year it was really somehow the energy was, I don't know, every all of the people just buzzed around the venue, and there was multiple side events and a lot of fun, a lot of learning, a lot of knowledge. And this is, something that I miss here on the local level,
Yeah, no.
to have some kind of the, regular check-ins, because if you want to have if you want to work on the meaningful stuff, in your life, my experience is, I need to understand and somehow know the persons with whom I would like to work on something, right? And again, core values and principles, is this aligned or not? I mean, before I approached you, I Googled you, and I read, what are you doing and how this is, interconnected with my principles and values. And this is like a baseline, right? And I think now also in the Croatia, our project could be a real success because the energy is here, something happening. Like you said, there are people outside of the Cardano community and Cardano world. Like I had the experience yesterday on the beer, there are people that are interested in this, but they need some kind of the infrastructure now where they can where they can learn more, how they can be, more introduced to the Cardano ecosystem, how they can, be activated in there, what kind of the use cases already exist, like in Croatia or in the region where they can maybe, learn more or take part in the initiative. So that kind of the, the local communities will, from my experience from the honor punk movement, will be, they are somehow, the strong pillars of the governance systems as well. So yeah, that's why I'm excited to see, what will happen also in Cardano on the governance side.
Yeah, yeah.
And of
Me
course,
too.
nothing can be 100% perfect. Of course, there will be failures and mistakes and learnings from that, and that's just good enough. It should happen like this.
Yeah, you can only learn from your mistakes, I think.
Yeah.
Or you
Yeah.
learn the best from
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, the onboarding process is an interesting one, and it's interesting to think what onboarding means. As we were speaking earlier, about what I want to what I would like this event, if it's funded, to be, is basically getting people who are completely outside of any kind of Cardano or blockchain or whatever, and never had a wallet or never had like any interaction with it, to come to the event. And basically, because they want to do the city challenge thing, which is go around the city and find some things, they will have to download a wallet or Cardano Beam app, and basically on the app they will see where the NFTs are on the map, and go there and solve some challenge and get the NFT. And basically, I think it's a very interesting and easy way for people to start using blockchain, to see that, it's okay, it's easy. I don't even have to know that it's blockchain. I'm just using an app. And I'm sure that potentially people will become interested to learn more after they've had that experience of, oh, I got an NFT. I mean, I remember myself when I got some first NFTs, like the excitement and everything. I thought, oh my god, why would I want to have like JPEG in a wallet or whatever? But when you have it, it's a bit exciting, I must admit. So yeah, I'm thinking that showing people the use case immediately, you can do this, then getting them to a venue where you have, let's say, 10 projects from Cardano presenting something about them, you have some speakers, people will see that this world actually exists, and they have maybe never before, heard that it's a thing, other than Bitcoin price is, I don't know, 100K now. And that's what everyone, like the majority of population in the world, knows about blockchain. Bitcoin, and the price is down or price is up. And yeah, and it was interesting for me to hear that, your opinion of what does it mean to be onboarded. Maybe that the fact that you have a wallet and maybe are doing some transactions and following what's happening on Twitter, you wouldn't say that that's enough of onboarding. I would say when it comes to Cardano, you think that maybe being involved in governance would mean, of course, it would mean you're onboarded, because that's like the top level now, what you can do. But do what would you say onboarding in general would mean in general population? What would be meaning that we have mass adoption and stuff like that, basically?
Yeah, like I explained also in the academy, the first time experience for our colleagues will be, opening the wallet and do first transactions. So I understand that, when we're talking about the onboarding new people in the community, in the Cardano community, is, at least that basic level of, playing with NFTs, meme coins, buying the trading, whatever it is. But I mean, from my view, this is like just, this is like just picking, behind the corner what's there. And if you don't have like strong connections with other community members, if you are not part of the governance models, if you are not, at least initiator of some initiatives within the community, then I see this like a low level, entry point for new community members. So I mean today, how much it is, like 25 ADA, right, is enough to
To
be
vote, yeah.
to vote. So this is like really opening a space to almost everybody to be part of the governance model as well, right? And it's much more than just buying, trading, selling something through the wallets. It's some kind of the commitment, I would say, to dive into the processes of the community, and to somehow see what's there for me, how I can be introduced and work on different kind of the levels of the operations of the governance. And Project Catalyst is like perfect model to onboard new interested, community members, because it gives you a lot of learning. So if you just want to read the proposals, or the next step, vote for your favorite ones, you are already doing some kind of the deep dive into to understand why these kind of the proposals were proposed, and why this is something that community needs or doesn't need. And this kind of the thinking is, from my perspective, maybe I'm wrong, much more than just buying the NFTs and keeping them in the wallet, trading whatever it is. And then the next steps, even proposing something and going to the level of a reviewer, and then taking part maybe in discussions with the Project Catalyst team, how the system can be better and more efficient, and how we can minimize the challenges that exist within the system. This is somehow, when I understand you are onboarded into the community, the level what I see, it's important to have when we are talking about the community membership grow. Of course, there are other things, like if you're a developer, you can develop the solutions. But I'm just part of this now, community around on the project. I'm focused here now more on the community around the Project Catalyst. But
Yeah.
yeah, I have a couple of different cryptos in my wallet. I don't, I would never say I'm part of the this community or this community, because I'm not. I just coin holder, a crypto holder. I really don't participate in anything in that communities. But in Cardano, I started getting involved in different initiatives, and more and more people I know, more and more I feel this is the right place where I want to be.
Yeah, I think your perspective would change a lot when you would start doing NFT trading or whatever kind of trading, because essentially, someone who is in a community is usually part of 100 or 200 Discord servers and is following everything that's happening on Cardano, like in so many different NFT projects, what's coming out new, what meme coin is coming out. You join the Discord, you see some new people, you see all the same people. It's like everyone by name already in the community, and you're all together in this, let's go to this project, let's go to this project. Then you stay in some a bit longer if you like them, and if you hold more of them or whatever. And essentially it takes a lot of your time, basically. And it's not like I'm just holding NFTs and I'm just holding coins. It's, if you're a part of Cardano, I would say, and everyone who feels like that is like, you really know the place, you really know what's happening, you really know all the projects. You maybe are not involved in governance yet, but I'm assuming that more people will be involved over time. I see what you say when you say just holding a coin is maybe not that. I also have phantom wallet with some coins in there from Solana, but I don't feel like a Solana community member. But I do feel like Cardano community member, even without Project Catalyst and even without governance and anything, because for 3 years now I have been grinding in Discord servers, and I know people, and people know you basically, and that's pretty much like knowing everything that's happening in Cardano ecosystem. And I think that's
understand this. Yeah, sorry for interrupt. I completely understand this. Maybe just my experience is different,
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
when I was introduced, to the punk music in 6th grade of primary school, I started to listen bands, I was going to the shows, etc. I didn't felt, like a part of the community. I was just consumer in the punk scene, right? But then in the 1st grade of the secondary school, I started, working and organizing different kind of the punk shows. Then I started doing punk festivals, as I said. I started doing magazine, the fanzine, and then I started doing DIY label. And then I started, doing the distribution of different kind of the global level, punk editions, etc., etc. Then I started the radio show. So this kind of the things that I have been doing in the community, then I felt as a part of the punk movement, right? If I was just, going to the shows, to the festivals, if I was just buying the records or fanzines or whatever it is, my feeling was I'm just the consumer, because I'm supporting the community growth, but I'm just consuming what others produce, right?
Yeah.
So I think, for myself, involvement really means that I'm creating something which can be used or not used, but at least I'm introducing something. I'm trying to make something. This is the level where I, for myself is, the boundary.
Distinction. Yeah.
If you are involved or you are not involved.
I see. Well, yeah, interesting, and yeah, maybe there is a distinction, of course, between someone who has also created something, and then most of the people who are just consuming it. But I think in this regard, like blockchain space and digital social media, which offers you so many possibilities to talk with each other, basically you do feel like a community when you do that, and that's why we call ourselves Cardano community.
Completely. Yeah. I mean, I'm not, saying that this is not valuable. I mean, every person that came to my show that I organized was really valuable, part of the community, because it was supporting this. Without their support, I couldn't do anything, right? But I just have different levels of understanding, what it basically means. Like I said, I can buy different kind of the, cryptos, NFTs, meme coins, whatever it is, but I will not feel part of the community, even though I will, dive into the information, discuss, read, etc. But for myself is, I need to do something. Like, we want to do with this event in Croatia. I want to, be part of the organization. I want to introduce my ideas. I want to help, that event to happen. I want to talk there with the people. I want to follow up with some, actions agreed or whatever it will be happening there, right? So somehow, yeah, I have different point of view.
Yeah, of course.
A community participation, what basically that means, right?
Yeah, and that's okay. Good. Was that, yeah, what I just added a bit question on the end of the last one. What do you think will bring to mass adoption of like blockchain? How will that happen?
I mean, we already have the use cases, right? I really like the Cardano use case on Plastic.io, right? I mean, this is a great example how they created the whole ecosystem around the plastic waste management, and how they are collaborating now. I think they are working in more than 20 countries right now, and how they're working also with the big industries players, and how they started a collaboration with Football Club Barcelona as well. So it's already happening. This is the mass adoption, right? And like Cardano also signed a different kind of agreements with some of the governments. This is again a proof that the blockchain technology will not give only the transparency to I mean, maybe the most valuable issue is transparency here, because uh, I'm just thinking now about the voting processes, different kind of the industries, etc. That traceability part, tracking everything, what's happening, and keeping the immutable data. I think this is the somehow I see it's already happening. I don't know what to say. I mean, we already have like almost 1 billion crypto holders, around the globe. This is, huge amount of people are already, like you said, buying, trading, doing something with this. So it's not like there's, 100,000 people doing something. It's 1 billion. So, we have legislations, we have policies in place. In some countries, it's still evolving, but it's happening. And I would really like to see, what will happen now also with Charles' involvement in the U.S. government, and what kind of the transparency will be also brought to these systems, to the voting system. So I think, yeah, use cases are already there. I mean, mass adoption. We are already living in the time of the mass, I would say, right? We don't need to wait that something will happen. We are already there.
You're already there.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nice point of view. I like it, and yeah, I mean, I think each day we are just more and more mass adopted. It cannot go back, so that it's here. Yeah, amazing. Good positive views on everything, and really important work that you're doing, and just continue doing that, and educating people on blockchain. I like it. That's also something I am kind of involved with the research work that we do on Cardano. Basically, we want to bring some data here and see who is here, learn more about people, and what are their sentiments and behaviors. Basically, with that said, I have the survey was just published, the current one, the new one, which we are now letting go for 2-3 weeks out in the public for everyone to fill out. So I have to send you that one, so you give your perspectives in, and we have some new results. Basically, the last research we did was summer 23, and we have no data after that. So let's see what's changed, basically.
Yeah, I think the work that you are doing in this initiative is really important, because but also, I would like to see more collaborations between the academia and the Cardano ecosystem as well, because there is so much things happening, and so much data is available, and so much learning can be extracted from these data, not only for the purpose of the business growth, Cardano community growth, whatever it is, but only for the personal growth, I would say. If you are a member of the community, you can learn, and you can learn a lot, and you can do a lot of things, right?
Yeah, I agree. And Cardano is perfect ground for academia and science to come here. So
definitely,
it will happen.
For myself, Cardano is perfect. Thanks. Also for parties and having fun.
Yeah, I hope summit next year will be in Europe and a bit closer to me, and I attended then.
Yeah. Looking
And do
forward
some
to that.
parties. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your
Thank you.
time and your perspectives and teaching us a bit more about something outside of everything we hear every day. It's really, it will be new for so many people here, I'm sure. So
Really nice.
yeah, thank you. And I don't know, any closing thoughts, anything else you want to add?
Fingers crossed, for our proposals.
Yeah, for sure.
I
Everyone,
really, I
go
would
vote.
really like, to see that at least some proposals that we did, can be understood and supported by the community, because they're a little bit different ones than we usually do. Like I said, also in the partners track, we are collaborating with the Murgo on the acceleration program. This is like a big thing for the UN ecosystem. Imagine that, we will have like 40 supported initiatives on the global level on the Cardano ecosystem with huge global scale potential. I think a lot like I said, I'm so excited to be part of everything that is happening now. That every day I'm just waking up and trying to think, what's new, what's new there, what kind of the message I will receive, what kind of the proposal I will get. So it's really exciting. I'm 47 now, and I feel like a teenage guy living in a new punk world.
New punk world.
I used to be.
Well, that's good. That's a good feeling, I'm sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Matea, for the conversation. It was really nice.
Thank you. Thank you, Theo, and see ya very
Talk soon.
soon. Talk soon. Bye-bye.